Good morning, Denver United students. In today's devotional, I'm going to talk about our God-given gifts and talents. And while we aren't all as talented and as gifted as Pastor Rob, who has a real knack for incorporating early 2000 pop culture references into his sermons, like the lyrics to Britney Spears' top hits, we do all have talents. I read 1 Peter 4:10, and I think it really shows us and tells us a lot about why God made each of us different and how we can use our talents. So I'm going to read it for you now. Each one should use whatever gift he has received to serve others, faithfully administering God's grace in various forms. And I also recently read a devotional that I think puts it really well in perspective of our talents and how there are shape. And SHAPE being an acronym for spiritual gifts, heart, abilities, personalities, and experiences. For some people, and for a few of you, I think that it's singing or your musical abilities. And I've really been blown away as I get to know you all and join the 303 worship night to see how talented some of you all are. And I thought it was so cool to see you perform the song that you had just written earlier that week or maybe the week before, and to share your gift with others. And for others, maybe it's something like basketball or another sport, where it might not feel like the physical activity is a direct correlation to serving God. It can be a big platform for showing your faith or maybe serving and encouraging your teammates. During this time, I've seen some really cool things from pro athletes who have taken this time on the break to find new ways to share their faith. Taylor and I recently watched Steph and Aisha Curry host a worship night on their Instagram. And when I think about it, it was his skill for basketball that brought about the recognition that then provided the platform for him to share God and to share Christ and the joy he brings with so many people, thousands of people, in just one night. And then others of you, I think about how cool it is to see you serving in other areas of the church like AVL or the greeting team. But there are other letters in SHAPE that we don't always immediately think about when we're talking about this topic, and that's heart, personality, and experiences. So maybe it's a gift of loving people well. Maybe it's serving in the children's ministry at church and just loving on kids, or maybe it's serving children in an after-school program, or maybe it's other things that you just do to brighten people's day, like making a meal for your family or calling up a friend and just listening. And then for experiences, I do think that God put some experiences there for us to use in the future. So maybe some experiences are joyous occasions and sometimes they're hardships. But down the road, they can provide an opportunity for us to share God with others and be a leader. And if they're hardships, maybe to walk alongside somebody and tell them it's okay and be there to support them. When I think about talents in these ways, I see how God purposely put each of you here, and you're each unique, and together we all bring something to the table. Your talent is who you are and who God made you to be to build his kingdom. So here's my challenge to you. Let's begin to think about how we can be a good steward of God's gifts that he's given us to build the body of Christ well. Think about the different talents you have that make up your SHAPE. Again, SHAPE being spiritual gifts, heart, abilities, personalities, and experiences. Take some time this morning to think about those talents that God's given you and listen to how he wants you to use them in the next week. Maybe it's even the next month or years. Or are there gifts that he's building inside of you that you need to take a hold of and really just use this time to grow? Now is just as good a time as ever to really work on your craft and to prepare your heart. That's it for me for this morning. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.